There's a number quietly shaping your future right now, and most people over 50 have never measured it. Not their cholesterol, not their weight, not even their blood pressure. This one number may say more about your longevity, your health span, and your independence than almost anything else, and it has nothing to do with how you look. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Many people don't lose independence because they get old. They lose it because their cardiovascular capacity quietly declines for years without them noticing. Climbing stairs becomes harder, recovery slows down, energy fades, and they assume it's just aging. But what if it's not aging itself? What if it's a trainable number you've never paid attention to? Today, you're going to understand what VO2 max really means after 50, why it matters so much for healthy aging, and most importantly, how to improve it safely. Without extreme workouts, without gimmicks, and without chasing youth. Because your goal isn't youth, it's independence. And this number might be the missing piece. VO2 max sounds technical, almost intimidating. Like something reserved for elite athletes in a lab wearing a mask and running on a treadmill. But here's the truth. It's not about performance, it's about capacity. In simple terms, VO2 max measures how well your body delivers and uses oxygen when you move. That's it. It's your internal engine's efficiency rating. And when we talk about longevity, health span, and aging well, efficiency is everything. Think of it this way. Your heart pumps oxygen-rich blood, your lungs load that oxygen, and your muscles use it to create movement. When those three systems communicate smoothly, you don't just exercise better, you live better. That's functional fitness at its core. It's the difference between climbing stairs with control or needing to pause halfway, between walking confidently and feeling winded after a short distance. That's mobility and balance working together with your cardiovascular system. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. Being out of breath doesn't automatically mean you have a low VO2 max. Breathlessness can be caused by deconditioning, anxiety, posture, even inefficient breathing patterns. VO2 max goes deeper. It reflects how effectively your entire system coordinates under stress. That coordination, heart, lungs, muscle, is one of the strongest indicators of healthy aging we have in evidence-based health research. And here's the subtle insight most channels won't tell you. VO2 max isn't just about oxygen. It's about reserve. It's about how much capacity you have left when life demands more from you. Carrying groceries, catching yourself from a fall, playing with a grandchild. That reserve protects independence. And once you understand that VO2 max represents your system's true capacity, the next question naturally becomes, how much does that capacity really matter for longevity? Here's where things get interesting. VO2 max isn't just a fitness metric. It's one of the strongest predictors of longevity ever studied in exercise science. Not in a dramatic, guarantee your lifespan kind of way, but in a consistent, evidence-based health sense. Study after study shows that people with higher cardiorespiratory fitness tend to live longer and experience better health span. And that's not hype, that's physiology. What makes this powerful is the gap between low and moderate fitness. You don't need elite numbers. In fact, moving from very low VO2 max to simply moderate levels produces a dramatic reduction in mortality risk. That's encouraging. It means healthy aging isn't reserved for athletes. It's accessible, it's trainable, and it directly impacts your quality of life in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Now think practically. After 50, independence often depends on one simple thing. Can your body sustain effort without shutting down? Walking through an airport, recovering from illness, climbing a hill without dizziness. VO2 max reflects that systemic resilience. It's tightly linked to cardiovascular health, metabolic flexibility, and even cognitive protection. This is where functional fitness becomes longevity insurance. And here's the part most people overlook. Low VO2 max doesn't just predict earlier mortality, it predicts earlier dependency. That's the real issue. Not lifespan alone, but loss of independence. And once you see VO2 max as a marker of how well your system handles stress, it raises a deeper concern. What actually happens to this number after 50? Here's the quiet truth nobody talks about enough. After 50, VO2 max doesn't just decline. It can decline faster than expected. Some reduction is natural. Aging affects cardiac output, muscle mass, and mitochondrial efficiency. But here's the key distinction. Biology sets the baseline. Lifestyle determines the slope. And that slope is where healthy aging is either protected or compromised. Sedentary behavior accelerates the drop dramatically. When movement decreases, stroke volume declines, muscles lose oxidative capacity, and strength after 50 starts slipping faster than most people realize. The body adapts to what it's asked to do. If it's asked to conserve, it conserves. If it's asked to perform, it adapts upward. That's not biohacking hype. That's fundamental physiology. Now layer in muscle loss. VO2 max isn't just heart and lungs. It depends on muscle tissue to extract and use oxygen efficiently. Lose muscle and your system's oxygen utilization drops. That's why cardio alone isn't enough. Muscles cardio is an integrated longevity system. Functional fitness isn't about looking fit. It's about preserving metabolic and cardiovascular reserve. And here's the uncomfortable part. Waiting makes the curve steeper. Every decade of inactivity compounds the decline. The gap between independent and dependent often widens quietly. But here's the empowering part. Decline is not destiny. VO2 max remains trainable well into your 60s and 70s, which naturally leads to the next question. How do you even know where yours stands right now? Now here's the practical question you've probably been waiting for. How do you measure something like VO2 max without stepping into a laboratory? The good news is you don't need expensive equipment to get a meaningful estimate. In the context of longevity and healthy aging, we're not chasing precision down to the decimal. We're looking for functional indicators, signals that tell you how your system performs in real life. One of the simplest methods is a structured walking test. For example, the 6-minute walk test. Walk at a strong but sustainable pace for 6 minutes on flat ground and measure the distance. If you can speak in short sentences but not sing, you're likely in the right zone. That distance gives a surprisingly good window into your cardiorespiratory fitness. It's safe, accessible, and aligned with evidence-based health principles. Another practical indicator? Stairs. If you can climb 2 to 3 flights at a steady pace without stopping, excessive dizziness, or prolonged recovery, that's a strong sign your VO2 max isn't severely compromised. Add heart rate awareness to the mix. If your heart rate rises appropriately during effort and returns to baseline within a few minutes, your recovery system is working. Recovery speed is an underrated marker of health span. Now, this isn't about pushing to extremes. No all-out sprints, no maximal stress tests at home. This is functional fitness evaluation, not ego testing. The goal is clarity, not exhaustion. And once you begin to estimate your current capacity, a more empowering question naturally follows. What's the safest and smartest way to improve it after 50? Here's where most people make a critical mistake. They hear improve VO2 max and immediately think high-intensity intervals, breathless sprints, and pushing to the limit. But after 50, longevity isn't built on intensity. It's built on intelligent progression. And this is where aging well separates from training like you're 25. Consistency beats intensity after 50, every single time. One of the safest and most effective methods is structured brisk walking, not casual strolling, intentional walking. 20 to 30 minutes where your breathing deepens but remains controlled. You should be able to talk in short phrases, but not hold a long conversation. Add slight inclines once or twice a week. Hills are nature's gentle interval training. They stimulate the cardiovascular system without reckless strain. Light interval work can also be powerful when applied wisely. For example, 1 minute of slightly faster walking followed by 2 minutes of comfortable pace, repeated 5 to 8 times. That's it. No aggressive HIIT sessions needed. A stationary bike works beautifully here, especially for protecting joints and preserving mobility. It allows controlled intensity without impact, supporting functional fitness and balance simultaneously. And here's the key insight that elevates everything. Combine cardio with strength after 50. Muscle tissue is where oxygen gets used. The stronger your muscles, the more efficiently your body extracts oxygen. 2 to 3 weekly resistance sessions, bodyweight squats, step-ups, resistance bands, amplify your VO2 improvements. That's integrated longevity training. And when this system starts working together, something subtle but powerful begins to shift. Not just your numbers, but how you feel every single day. Here's what most people don't expect. When VO2 max improves, life feels lighter. Not dramatically different overnight, but noticeably easier. You wake up with more stable energy. You move through the day without that subtle background fatigue. That's not just better cardio. That's systemic efficiency improving. And systemic efficiency is one of the foundations of longevity and health span. Cognitive clarity often improves as well. Better oxygen delivery supports brain function, reaction time, and focus. Many people think brain health and heart health are separate conversations. They're not. They're deeply connected. Increased cardiovascular capacity enhances circulation, and circulation fuels cognition. This is healthy aging at a systems level, not biohacking extremes, but intelligent physiology working in your favor. Recovery improves too. When your cardiorespiratory system becomes more efficient, everyday stress becomes less taxing. You recover faster after physical effort, after illness, even after emotional stress. That resilience directly protects independence. And independence, not youth, is the real currency of quality of life after 50. When you can recover well, you maintain mobility, balance, and confidence in your body. And here's the deeper emotional layer. Physical confidence returns. You trust your body again. You walk into environments without scanning for chairs. You take stairs without negotiating with yourself. That shift isn't cosmetic, it's psychological. It changes how you show up in the world. And if all of this starts with one measurable number, it raises an even more powerful question. What happens when you decide to take control of it? Here's the real question. Now that you know this number matters, what are you going to do with it? It's not enough to understand VO2 max intellectually. Longevity isn't built on information, it's built on action. Are you going to keep assuming fatigue is just aging? Or are you ready to train your system so it works for you instead of against you? Because aging well doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. Start simple. Measure where you are. Walk with intention. Add light intervals. Protect your strength after 50. Build your mobility. Support your balance. That's how you extend health span. Not through extremes, not through shortcuts, through consistent, evidence-based health habits that compound over time.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. I hope you found this helpful. If so, please consider subscribing for more.
And if this shifted your perspective, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. This channel exists for one reason, to help you improve your quality of life and protect your independence as you age. Now, you've just learned why VO2 max matters. But there's another number that may be even easier to test and just as powerful: your walking speed. I made a full video explaining exactly why your walking speed after 50 predicts more than you think. If you're serious about healthy aging, that's the next piece you need to understand. Remember, your goal isn't youth, it's independence.